All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very special spotlight right here, special edition. We got two, not one, but dose, two people, Demarcus Bumpers and Makaela Bryant. Makaela Bryant, Demarcus Bumpers. Clap it in, clap it in. Man, thank y'all for joining us on this morning. How y'all doing?
We are great.
Good. Love to hear it. See, that's how y'all know they've been on set and they have that chemistry. They answered at the same time, bro. That y'all was right on. Chemistry was right on point, man.
Oh, that's my castmate. I love my castmate. I love my castmate.
Man, y'all was right on point. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, ladies first, of course. Makaela, share with us your humble beginnings and what got you started on your journey.
Well, I started out as a bikini athlete, so this was not planned at all. I then got discovered as a model, and then I moved into scene work. Basically, I was on set for 1,000 Horses. I was pulled aside by the director. It's like, hey, can we like a couple of lines? And I did it, and it kind of spiraled from there. And then, of course, COVID happened, and then ironically, I started getting casted more. I got casted for a movie called Manifest during COVID that was shot in New York. I worked with director Carlton King, and that was amazing. And then after that point, it was more like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because things were just falling in place way too easy. It was like after Manifest, it was Circlings, and then after Circlings, it was Rise, and after Rise, it was just, and now I'm being signed on to not one more production, but two other productions that have me booked for the entire, just all of next year. So I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because it's coming way too easy. And it's actually, and Demarcus and I talked about this before. It's a little bit unnerving and a little bit nerve-wracking. Just how, when you think about it, it's so much emphasis is put on it, and you're being shoved in the spotlight. So it's this adjustment, and that's how I started. So from just competing on stage and fitness to modeling, and then now to doing TV shows and movies.
Gotcha. Love it. So this one of those, well, we see like, oh, you can do this. Let's push a little bit more.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was definitely like that. Of course, I was told to hone my skills. So having talent is one thing, but you have to hone your talent. So I started working with Amy Jo Berman, who is a well-known casting director in LA. And then I started working with Kenneth Braun, and we just started going over my routine and practicing the concepts of like original thought and just getting more into the scene work. And so it's been a process. It's definitely been a process.
Gotcha. So Demarcus, same question for you. What your humble beginnings? What got you started?
So I actually have a family of entertainers, as most people already know. Michael Harry O'Harris, the current COO of Death Row Records, was actually how I got started in the business. Of course, he was responsible for Denzel Washington's career, Vanessa L. Williams, and he cast Paul Whitfield. He cast Paul Whitfield and Ruby Dee in a Broadway play, making him the first African American to finance, direct, cast, and produce a Broadway play in the state of New York. And I actually, so my background was more so, I had been working in the oil field, and my family was like, so wait a minute, you're giving up a 6-figure career to go do professional entertainment full time? And I was like, absolutely. So I packed my bags up and I started doing auditions, and then I worked to get a manager. But prior to that, so back in Texas, I went and I had got an agent at a smaller agency just to get experience by booking extra work. Then from there, I signed to a mid-size talent agency, and they actually had helped me, get the necessary skills to take it to Hollywood. And then that's how I made the transition. So I'm doing it full time now.
And Makaela, how was it transitioning from modeling to acting?
It's very different. you know, um, just as a model, you stand there, you take pictures, and you don't say anything. And the directors and you have scene producers, but there's just like more show, like moving you around, saying post this way, post this way. Now it's like, okay, now add words, add emotion, be believable, be convincing. So it was a dramatic shift for me. It wasn't just like, oh, now talk. It was like, you have to be believable. And if you suck at it, it's like, I think acting is more unforgiving than modeling. Because in modeling, you can edit some things. In acting, you can't edit anything. And it goes to critics. So it's very different, two different worlds.
Okay. And Demarcus, for yourself, how was it going from oil and gas, which is such a, it's just like a 9-to-5 structure, but to going into acting, like, and walking away from 6 figures, how was that feeling? Like when you got that? Okay. Whew.
Yeah, because that
Don't
is
blame me on today.
that's that no.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember like it was yesterday. I actually had just gotten promoted while working in the oil field, and I was set to start that new role that Monday. So I went in that Monday morning and I had told the director of operations, hey, I am voluntarily resigning. I want to thank you for the opportunity and, for opening doors for me in my career, but I've decided to focus on acting professionally. Because see, by this time, and some people actually don't know this, but when I was working in the oil field, I actually had already been doing TV commercials. But so at that time, I was doing background work. And then I made the transition, to Nissan and, other companies representing them and they brand and doing the campaigns and so forth. So I was like, that's pulling me away more and more, because what was happening is as I was booking, I was increasingly more and more absent from work. That's what was happening. So I feel like it was a very good decision that I made. Looking at it in current day, yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about that. I feel at peace. I love not being on a regular 9-to-5. I love being able to get out here and pursue my dream, because a lot of people, they don't get that opportunity. And I feel that you live life once, so you have to take full advantage of that opportunity. And when you get ready to take your last breath on earth, you have to have those conversations with yourself. Did I do everything in this life that I want to do? Did I live to the fullest? Did I do everything on my checklist? And did I go out in a blaze of glory? If the answer is no to those questions, then you have not lived life to the fullest. And, as most of you know, I feel like going into Hollywood, that's one of the biggest gambles that a person can take. But it's just a matter of you really believing in yourself, that you have the skills, the necessary ability to get out here, network, meet people, do the leg work, make sure your package and everything is in order. That's so important.
Yeah, I love that. I love that both of y'all share that too, which y'all, humble beginnings, where y'all came from and what y'all were doing and where you're at now, and the growth that comes in behind. I know y'all still, I love that, when we talk to other actors and they talk about, okay, we're in some somewhat uncharted waters. We don't know what's going to happen. And that's also with, modeling everything, but y'all took it and y'all did it. And it brings me to the question of what was, some of the first things y'all learned when y'all got started in this, and how do you still apply it to where you're at now?
Make sure that you have not only a good manager that will protect your best interests, but make sure that you have a manager that you are in sync with. And when I say in sync, they have a very positive attitude. They don't come off as they're just doing you a favor by casting on projects, because they treatment of you, that affects your ability to effectively maneuver out here in this business. You need positive people. You need positive people on your team. also having a good attorney or a team of people that are in legal that can look over your business contracts, because sometimes in the business you can get bullied and have bad contracts, and then you sign over your royalties, the rights to future earnings, and they will get you in this business. But if they know that you're represented and you have a team of people that will fight for you, they're not likely to try you because you developed that reputation early. Hey, no, this is my team here. They're representing me. So yeah. And I've seen I've seen so much talent in the industry, their careers just cut short because they work so hard, but then they're not reaping the benefits of all their hard work because you signed your rights over.
Yeah.
That happens a lot
Wow.
in Hollywood, especially. Yeah. And
Really?
you'll think that they making the money and they doing it and they living life to the fullest, but after that one paycheck, they're not seeing the royalties. They was just so eager to be on television and be like, hey, I did this, I did that, I did this. Yeah, all that's fine and dandy, but for myself personally, I have my nieces, my nephews, and this is my family legacy and this is my brand. So for years and years to come, I want them to be able to reap the benefits of all my work. And, everything that I've done to date, I own the rights to everything. So I'm, still continuing to, collect the royalties and everything. And if I can't, I will not be a part of the project. And, Makaela and I, we had that conversation with our team, prior to getting started, even on Rise. Ultimately that project is going to hit not everything on October 8th or the later date, depending on the circuits. But as the dates progress, you'll slowly start seeing Rise hit a ton of platforms. So we're scheduled to get up to 20 platforms. So, we want to make sure that we're capitalizing on all those platforms, because that's just total robbery. You do all that work and you don't make no money. And I like to be very transparent on, what to look at when you get in this business. It's about making money. It's about getting out here and you are making a statement about your brand. You're taking your bread and your butter serious, and you watching the things that you do, and you're making a mark on this world. That's when you're impactful, when you're watching those things and you're mindful of it instead of worrying about the nonsense out here in this business.
Love it. I love how you said when you first started, that's what you apply, and it still stick in your veins. You breathe it, and I like that you're being transparent with it. Makaela, what about you? What were the first few things that you learned that you still apply to when you first started to now? What do you can remember?
This is not a 9 to 5. It's if you're expecting to have time off, to have time for family events, to go to baby showers, christenings, family vacations, Christmas, you're not going to do it. Your career will always be your first priority. And that's because there's always someone chasing you, and you're always competing against thousands of, if not dozens of other trained actors who can either look better, deliver the lines better, or be more believable. So your first bet is to get in first, get seen first, deliver your lines, but be convincing, and make sure you capture the life and death moments of your characters so well that it's embedded in the director's mind. I learned that. I learned your image is everything. The way you carry yourself, the way you're poised, especially on social media, is definitely looked at.
Yeah.
I would say I have recently had to be very careful of what I post and what I get involved in, because when I go look at my stories and see who's seen it, the 2 production companies that I'm signing contracts with, one I'm signing contracts with right now, and that could lead to other movies and films that they're doing, and the one the trilogy I'm signing on to, they monitor my stories and what I'm posting, and so it's like, okay, I have to be careful, because if they're not just buying my looks or buying my image and everything that comes in contact with. So who I engage with, content I post, content I support or like, all that gets tracked. I've seen Amy Joel Berman look at it. I've seen Kenneth look at it. I see Paul Sinecor, who cast for Beyonce and casted for, you know, her film Homecoming, and he's looked at it. So different people, they will look you up and see what your brand is about. If your brand is bad, they won't touch you. And I constantly have been told about that. Also, read your contracts. Not all deals are good deals. Sometimes you can get taken advantage of. So definitely make sure you have a management team, but also make sure that your manager's brand or their image is also clean. Because the one thing you don't want to do is be connected or associated with a manager that has a bad image, because that would kind of forecast over what you're doing. So these are things that I've learned and that I continue to having to resonate. I learned that when I walk out the house, I have to look a certain way. I can't have, there are no gray pants or like sweatpants days for me in a hair bun. That would never happen.
That's Makaela for you.
Don't do it. Don't do it,
That would never
Makaela.
happen.
Don't
That
do
would never happen. I had to keep up with my body type. You know, Demarcus and I were just talking about this, is that my contract looks different from his. My contract says I have to stay between a size 0 and a size 2. I can't go over it. And they're constantly checking that. So it's just all these little things that come into being an actor or being an actress. People think it's just memorizing lines. It's not. Before we even hit production, there's months of cast meetings. There's months of feedback on your scenes and adjustments and tweaks. And then unfortunately, sometimes people get replaced and you have to rebuild that chemistry so it is delivered correctly on set. It's all these different things that goes into being an actor or an actress.
Yeah, I love that y'all shared this. Thank y'all both.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
being
thank
transparent,
you.
because people that gets into this business need to understand that it's not always the glitz and the glam. It's really have to watch. To me, and Demarcus talked about that as well too. You have to watch what you do, what you say, who you're tied to, all that. So thank y'all so much for that.
Yeah.
You have to watch all that, because it hurts your opportunities. It hurts your bread and butter. I definitely agree with Makaela on that. I feel that if you're not watching the people that you associate yourself with, you are not doing your due diligence and you're checking that these casting directors that you're working with, your manager and everyone around you, it hurts you ultimately in the business. Yeah, you may have opportunities, but just think about the amount of more opportunities that you actually could have. Because sometimes you can be your worst enemy and be the compromise of your own demise just because of crazy things that you do in the business. And for me personally, you know, the last few years, my family, the team and everything, they have worked all this time working to build up my image and my brand. And that's something me and Makaela actually talk about all the time. She tells me, you know, hey, you can't snap if somebody say something crazy to you. Because me, you know, I am that person, you know, like, hey, I'm not going to take craziness. You know, I will check you. But then I have to remember, that, you know, being in a professional setting and under a professional microscope, I have to keep myself in check, because I'm not only representing myself, but I'm representing brands. I'm representing fraternal orders and so forth that I'm a part of. So it's important that, you know, you keep yourself together at all times and you are as polished and pristine as possible. And, you know, we had a chance to see earlier this year firsthand the Oscars. I'm not going to go into too much of that, but, you know, it's just sometimes a quick, because you act on impulse, that quick decision can change the trajectory of your life, your career, hurt your bread and your butter. So you have to make good decisions at all times. It's important. And watch the things you say, and you know your delivery, how you deliver things. You have to watch that, and working to avoid words like and all that. That's signs of, you're not comfortable, you're not confident in what you're saying. And sometimes casting directors and so forth, they want to see how you do in interviews. If you can have full conversations and you can pronunciate well, that's another way that they've been going on to cast individuals. They want to see your full package, how you
Gotcha.
really are. hmm So me personally, I only take on serious roles because I've walked into the business with a very serious mindset. And as far as, characters that I portray on TV and films and so forth, I only take on serious characters. If it's something that's demoralizing the black man, I'm not touching it. I don't want no parts of it. If
Mm.
it's something that where you're trying to lowball me or you're cheating me out of opportunity, the mistreatment, that I've set that tone early in my career. Hey, I'm not standing for that. And on my resume to date, every role is that I've portrayed to date is serious characters only. hmm
Love it, love it, love it. No, I love that, man. And I love that you said that and y'all stand on that. So next question. So let's talk about this. So we know y'all both mentioned Circlings,
hmm
and I read the IMDb and everything. I'm all for it. It sounds like it's gonna be really good and really interesting.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Tell us what can you share with us without giving too much away. I don't want you to get in trouble, but yeah, what can you share about that?
Okay. Well, so on Circlings, I'm actually the producer, director for episodes, and I'm also actor on the production. And basically, it's Aurelia, that's Makaela's character on there. She is, really for her character. This person, she is just, I mean, she's strong. She brings a great deal of energy to her character and just her presence and everything. She's going to make her presence known. But it's taking place in this small town, and where my character plays an investigative reporter, and we are investigating supernatural forces in that town. So Michaela's character is actually opposite of mine. So I come in and I'm stirring up drama in the town because I'm picking at everything, trying to find out the truth of why everybody is doing things the way that they're doing it and really getting to it. I'm the one that's asking questions. And Michaela's character earlier on is opposite of me. And our heads, we're bumping heads and in there. But as the series progresses, you'll see a turn in our relationship. And I'm not going to give too much up on that.
Yeah,
But
I was say, Makaela, stop him, Makaela.
yeah. And
So
it was directed by Christopher Michael. So he's out of New Mexico. And right now he's actually based in Texas, but I knew for a while he grew up in California as well. And he was in a TV series called The Graceful Path before that. So he had just cast me to be actor, and then production was like, okay, Demarcus ideals we like. So then that's how I got promoted to producer and then director and so forth. And that's what the networks and ultimately wanted.
Love it,
So
love it.
Aurelia is my character is known as a light bringer. So I resonate with her a lot, primarily because she likes to see the good in people. She doesn't take them that everyone's bad at face value or that everyone has malicious intent. She tries to see the good in them. Sometimes that gets her in trouble, which we will see within the series. And she's confronted with a hard truth, and not only with her abilities and calling, that's all I'm going to say, but also people that she comes across. And although Adrian can be very mean sometimes, they do end up working together.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, Adrian is my characters. Again, I told you I only do strong characters, and I was like, this person is me, hands down, because I'm that person that I'm very inquisitive, so I'm going to ask the question multiple ways to get the answer. I'm not going to rest until I get it, and I'll be a thorn in your side, and I will shake up a town, I will shake up the world, getting to the truth. So
I
when
love it.
Chris actually was like, he was like, you know what, your personality, this person is the perfect match for you. So to prepare for the character, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually spent some time in New Mexico and New York shadowing an investigative reporter, because anytime I go to portray a character, anytime I portray a character, I actually spend either weeks or a couple months with them, shadowing them each day, so I can give my best delivery when I go to portray the characters. I feel like that's a really good actor. You don't just automatically just jump into a character. No. I need to develop that character, really embody that character. And a good example, so if I know I'm gonna go play this father that's a construction worker, then I'll try to go to a site for a few weeks and shadow a father that's a construction worker that's strong, and really actually do the physical labor and everything, so I can give the best delivery possible on set.
That's what's up.
And this character, y'all actually gonna love Fries, because boy, me and Makaela and Makaela, she's just so talented. I love Makaela, and I learned so much from her on this production. This production, a lot of people, oh my God. Ooh, like it's you'll see, you're definitely going to love it. We came with it, and right now we're waiting to find out about the Oscar circuits, because we actually may be nominated for awards for our portrayals in this featured film.
All right now.
Speaking Makaela, so I heard from a little bird that you won second place in the bodybuilding competition. How did you prepare for that? Like,
being a bikini athlete, my life is, very regimented. I have times that I eat. I know how many meals I eat, and we pick out shows at least, I would say, 9 to 10 months in advance. And so during that time frame, all my day is planned, and I work out twice a day. Do like an hour of fasted cardio. That's basically where I'm waking up at 4 a.m. and I'm just walking on the treadmill for an hour at like a high pace to burn more calories. And then afterwards, around, from that point, I'm either on set, I'm training and working with my manager. And then at 6, I'm in the gym from 6 to 9. I'm training with my coach. We're working on our condition. And then from 9 to maybe about 1, 9 to 12, 9 to 1, I'm either back rehearsing, back studying for scenes for next characters I'm portraying, or I'm doing submissions or for like a film that we're trying to get on, or for a series trying to get on, and then that day repeats. So it's a very regimented lifestyle. Everything is planned. Everything is calculated, from when I eat to when I drink water, to how much I drink water, my vitamins, my supplements. And then going to show day is hectic for an athlete, because we're essentially depleted. We have like all these months of hard work that we spend preparing, conditioning our body, and taking it to the brink of exhaustion. And then I'm sipping water for maybe 12 hours. Then I'm on stage. I haven't eaten anything, so my musculars, so I'm vascular, and my muscles are very apparent. And then I'm expected to do a perfect routine 2 times for 30 seconds, and then convince the judges that, I bought the best package. And then for some reason we go, oh my God, I love this. And we do it all over again.
Oh, that right there in acting.
That's what's up.
Man, we gotta do it again.
Yes.
And I'm sure that work ethic translates over to in acting, because you have to have such a strict work ethic and really just be able to zone in and focus in. Now, Demarcus, I have a question for you.
Try me.
Uh-oh.
You guys already know what it is here. We're gonna backtrack a little bit. What made you go to Prairie View A&M University? Because I heard that's the school you chose, and we just like, wow. I went to Texas Southern. So
you went to TSU? Okay, my family, they went to TSU. Okay, so for me, I actually have family members that actually went to Prairie View A&M University. That's what led to me going there. And my auntie, well, my one aunt, she went there as well. So she's out there in Texas. She's the first African American female chief of police for
Okay.
Houston Metro. And that was one of the things that actually led to me going to Prairie View. In addition, my uncle, cousins, and so forth attended that institution. And shout out to the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, because Prairie View Panthers, we rule. We sorry, yeah, but we do whoop y'all in sports. I'm sorry, not sorry.
I'll let you make it because you're a guest today. But
yeah. But no,
Now-
I love my alma mater, and they instill some really good values in me to help me transition into Hollywood. I definitely will say that, because Prairie View is an institution. If you are mentored by the right people, they will actually, work to set you up for success and have those hard conversations with you. So when you transition into society, you are a success out here in this world, because we once we graduate, we experience the harsh reality of post graduation, where we get out here, we start working, making money, but it's more to it than just that. They want you to make the transition into society. They want you to have a good work ethic. They want you to represent the institution in which you attended, and they want you to make an impact on the world. And that's why before Prairie View, you graduate from there, before they put their stamp on you, they want to make sure that you are ready. And I was one, and I'm living proof that a Prairie View A&M University Panther can go out here and be a success in this world and not look back. And to take it a step further, as a proud graduate from Prairie View A&M University, I intend on being the first African American male from Houston, Texas, to be Emmy Award, Golden Globe, and Academy Award winner for acting. It has not been done in Houston yet, but we have had, of course, outside of Dallas, Terrell, Texas, our Jamie Foxx, which he's from Terrell. So
Yeah.
I feel like that this is a Texas Southern and Prairie View kind of collation that you guys got going on right here. Now, Chris,
Yeah.
you next. Chris, next.
Well, see, I'll save mine for another day. But I see you are also, of course, a Mason. I know that also a lot of that helps with preparation into what your career as well, because there's a lot of the same values, and like you just was mentioning with the school, like they want you to be prepared for for the real world. How have being part of that helped or influenced you in your career as well?
Oh, with the institution or
with Mason?
So, true story. There's a lot of casting directors in the business that are Masons, and of course, I have family members, so it's stretching all the way back to my great 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 grandfather. So, my uncles, cousin, brother, uncles, grandfather, great grandfather, great great, and great, and so on. And in addition, of course, Jay-Z, which is my cousin by marriage, because Beyonce is my third cousin, one removed. Jay-Z, he's also a member as well.
Okay.
I didn't know that about Jay-Z. Wow. Okay.
He's actually a Mason. So apparently it runs in the family.
It just runs in. Yeah. Man, that's oh my God, beautiful, beautiful, love it. Makaela, two-part question for you.
Okay.
So I know you have a strict diet. So you can't really have any cheat days. I'll pray for you. I mean, hey, I know, but
never.
You got a strict diet. You have really any cheat days. But first question is, have you taken any modeling photos with any exotic animals, or anything like that? And how hard is it to do that?
Not yet,
Not
but
yet.
working on it. Yeah. So our next shoot is with London Runaway Magazine. That's in Morocco. And we're trying to play around either with pythons, which I'm okay with snakes, or they're trying to do a Bengalese tiger. And we're trying to go through how that will work in that setting. I don't. Of course, I'm the model. I'll show up. I'll take the pictures, and I'll do what I need to do. But my preference is with the Python. I'm more comfortable with those. So yeah, that is upcoming. I can't give too much details because I am under contract with London Runway. But once they do release it, I'll be more than happy to tell you guys how that near life death experience went and if I survived.
Well, we want you to survive. I'm about to say, hey, can we have a dog, a poodle or something? Give me the most friendliest dog. And Makaela's good, man.
Yeah.
My goodness. So, second part of the question, we know that you travel.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most beautiful place you've been to for a photo shoot, or just overall in general? What's the most beautiful place you've been to?
Oh my God. I don't know how to pick.
Well, what's your Mount Rushmore of places that you've been?
Maldives is breathtaking. You guys want to talk about clear skies and like counting the stars and then seeing just animals, like aquatic animals. I've seen like a whale migration. I've seen dolphins, and I've seen just so many I don't know how to explain it. It's breathtaking out there. Yeah. It's really, really breathtaking. And then you have Turkey, which is so full and so rich in history. You have Dubai, then you have El Salvador, you have Panama. Each place has their own unique vibes. But I would say the most serene place, or makes you feel like you're like walking step by step with God, is like Maldives. If you want that experience of like just be still and just that complete sanity, Maldives is essentially that place. It's gorgeous. And there's plankton there too. And if you go around the springtime, they actually let the water, so it looks like little blue fairies in the water. You can see the plankton, and you can actually see the whales eating the plankton, and it's really, really pretty. It's breathtaking.
Way you talk about this, it sounds like you're ready to go back right now.
Yeah. I'm ready to visit right now.
I'm my ticket.
I'm like right now. I'm looking it up right now. What's up?
The way she talked, she was like described. I'm like, yes, I want that. Like I'm looking like I'm picturing like I want that.
I'm looking it up now.
Let's get my ticket together right now.
Yeah, Makaela loved traveling. We were just talking about that. This girl is all over the place. I know. And next year, she's supposed to actually hopefully be going out of the country for the next few years. Yes. Actually, so she'll juggle that while still doing Hollywood.
Yeah. So I'll be flying back and forth. So we got the commit on a very large trilogy movie in which my character will move from supporting into lead, and then the other two installments. So we got the verbal commit. The casting director is unavailable right now. She's going through some life changes. But I was appreciative because she did reach out to me and say, hey, get your stuff like when I get back. So I'm like, okay. And then right after that one, we got casted to a film called Streaming Sarah. That's filming in March. And so it's like, okay, as soon as that's done, I will be in Berlin for almost 3 years, traveling back and forth, filming Circlings, and then filming a show called Old Town, and then wrapping up Streaming Sarah. So it's a blessing. It's very nerve-wracking. But it's definitely one of those films that's life-changing. It's one that you don't say no to. Just the people that they casted, working with people that have been on the set of Game of Thrones, that have worked on the Divergent series. These are people that can change your trajectory in a career and just skyrocket you. So I am very humble. I'm very excited for it, and that's all I can say right now.
Yeah,
we're so proud of her.
We're proud of you.
She's amazing. Yeah, Makaela is amazing. You have to just love Makaela. Like she's just so disciplined from her diet to her career, and I'm saying that working with her, that is one person I've learned so much from. Yeah. And I told just such a gracious and beautiful talent, and just so humble. And yeah, I feel like when doing production, when we were filming, like everyone they absolutely loved Makaela, from just from our publicist to the press and media, to everyone, they just speak so highly of her, and she's well regarded in the business, well regarded. And when I found out that she was taking those next steps in her career, we had gotten together and was like, okay, we definitely have to meet up, collaborate, and so forth. And then a chance encounter came because I'd already heard of her. She ended up getting casted on Circlings. I was like, wait a minute. So I'm gonna be working with yeah, because we already knew her, for her fashion modeling and so forth. So I was like, when I found out that I was gonna be working with her, I was just like, whoo, okay, we're gonna have to definitely bring it, because you have a gorgeous fitness model. It's like every day you get to say you work with a fitness model that's gorgeous. Yeah. So like once we found out, it was just everybody was just kind of standing at attention, like. And then when you really start, when you really start talking to her, she's just, man, she is so humble. She's not stuck up or none of that. And in fact, she'll share some of her knowledge with you, and it's to help you. And if she she'll have those hard conversations with you, but she try to do it in a subtle way, opposed to me. I will be more direct with you.
Yeah.
But I mean well. And she's like, Demarcus, just no. But I'm telling you, because I'm not gonna be fake with you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna play games with you. I'm straight shooter. And I actually, that's one trait that I get from my father. So but I think he's more intense, but you get the nicer version from me. So
yeah, I think my parents and my abuelita had a really big hand in the way that I was raised, in the way that I project and carry myself within industry. I remember the first thing I remember my Baba saying to me, so my dad said, he's like, okay, you're gonna be a model, you're gonna do all this. Don't embarrass our family. You know where we're from, you know our heritage, don't embarrass me. And but my abuelita, who was a strong Boricua, she used to tell me, she's like, I will come back from the afterlife and like handle you if I have to.
That's pretty strong.
She was, I mean, I come from two just beautiful cultures and of just strong and very well people. I mean, I do resonate with my mommy's family, my mother's family. Being a Boricua, being from Puerto Rico, and being from that culture, it's very strong and very proud. And I want to make my family and my people proud of where I come from. And being a descendant of Liberitos is also a privilege too, because these are being told or in just growing up with the knowledge that you're a descendant from people who was brought over from Africa as conquistadors and have to like work, like literally strive for everything that they have. And then how my abuelitos, like how he worked to put me not only through school, but through college and make sure that I had everything, and then watch my mother do the same thing and my baba. I want to make my family proud. So I would never do anything to embarrass them. I will always act like the lady that they raised me to be. Not going to take on roles that demean either Latinas or African. I want to be a part of the solution of showing girls from different cultures, especially girls from African cultures, no matter where they're from, that you can do this despite adversity, despite what's against you. And here's a track to do it. And here's how you present yourself when you do it. People remember the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and the way you interact with other people as well. So I always want to treat people kindly, to market, and especially feedback.
No comment. I mean well. So again, I'm very blunt. I will speak my mind, but I don't do it in a way that's going to cause a lot of friction on sets, especially when we're working. I still do it in a professional way, but the feedback that I'm giving you is to help you, so you don't continue bumping your head.
Right.
Because I feel like you still have to maintain professionalism, especially in the industry. Because when you can't and you're hard to work with, word actually travels very fast.
It does. And you and I have actually, we won't go into that detail, but we've actually run across some people like that
Mhm. Oh yeah.
yeah, and you just go, wow, you're creating so much strife. Um, but I wish them well,
Right.
and hopefully they're doing better. But Demarcus is right. Casting directors and producers and directors, they're like their own little masonry, if you would. They talk amongst each other. They talk about
Mhm.
who's castable, who's not castable, who's a nightmare to work with. We see that with Ashley Green. We see that how it's affecting Mr. Smith's career and how it's affecting people that he's just associated with.
Mm-hmm.
It's very detrimental.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, because he's a very talented. He's a Will. He's a very talented actor. I love Will, and I hope that he make the comeback that's needed. But
Right.
I think that because of that incident, and so many people put so much stock in him, and him being he was supposed to be the new Sidney Poitier of this generation.
Mm-hmm.
With him the night that he won the Academy, but it's like just that one quick moment because of lapse of judgment, it changed the trajectory of how people viewed him. So I think that it will take a while for them to forget. And I think that, it potentially could hurt you, in the academies and so forth in the future, because you can be super talented. And we see this all the time, especially being an African American male. We have it harder. So we have to work twice as hard. So it's like you do all that work, but imagine that you don't get considered again if you've won before because you've had mishaps. Because as part of you winning the Academy or the Golden Globe, one of the things that they actually say, if you really pay attention to some of the interviews that they did, but code of conduct is one of the things that's actually important with you with that honor of that magnitude being bestowed on you. Your code of conduct is important because you now represent them, that organization, the Academy, the Golden Globe, or if you're getting the Cecil B. DeMille Award, etc. And hell, even the NAACP Image Awards. You think they want you representing these honorable organizations? If you can't keep your attitude in check, your peers are not going to respect you, and those are the voters. So you have to have the respect and love of your peers. That's important.
it goes
Yeah.
back.
And he just don't have it.
It goes back to like you all was speaking about earlier. Just you become a brand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
How you represent
Absolutely.
your brand is important. And so let's get into this right quick.
Yeah, sure.
Makaela first. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of acting?
Oh, Atlanta. Will Smith would definitely be on my top. Janet Jackson, because I believe that she was one of the pioneer for African American women to break into the industry. That wasn't in a sexual role. That's one thing too. And she had talent, she had presence. She had that natural, commanding yet gentle sense about her that I've always admired about her. And Whoopi Goldberg, because of course, Color Purple and her delivery. She was the first one that, she resonated that it's not just about looks. You have to have talent too. And that talent is far. And because she's done so many great things. Let's see, Denzel Washington would be another one. And I think that's it. Well, no, sorry, Jennifer Lopez too. I do love an actress. I'm not biased because she's Puerto Rican. Maybe just a little bit. But she has my body problems that I'm facing in the industry. She commanded her way into industry. It was essentially what I'm trying to do. She didn't ask Hollywood for permission to be there. She said, no, I'm here. I'm just telling you, and this is what I'm going to do. And she did it. She went from being a dancer to, a background dancer. She moved into acting because that's what she's wanted to do. And it was very hard for her because she started late, which is essentially what I'm doing. Now, when she talked about her how shapely she was and how she wasn't like the other actresses who are very slim, I have that issue too. Because not only am I an athlete, I'm also Latina and I also have African descent. So you have two very curvaceous cultures coming together that I don't fit some of the stereotypes and stereotypes that I do fit, I wouldn't want to associate it with my brand of being typecasted. So she speaks about how to break those molds and how to stand firm with her values. So each person on my Mount Rushmore has significance, and not only in the way they impacted the community, but also the way they impact or they influence and they carry themselves as well.
Love it. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Demarcus, same question.
So it would be Denzel Washington, Michael B. Jordan, Morgan Freeman, Samuel Jackson, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sidney Poitier. Those are the men of the generation that I really look up to. And I feel that they carry themselves with such grace, such elegance and poise. And they're not flashy. They're very intelligent, very, very respectable, distinguished men. And, you know, I feel like we have to get back to that. Even as we have the new generation of actors coming up, because, you know, later they will retire and, you know, we'll have our next group. And I feel like I'm a part of that new generation of actors to really move us forward with the mark that I'm trying to make in the industry. So yeah, they just grace. These men are just full of grace, and I just love how they are, and they do everything possible to stay out of drama. They're not in the headlines for a lot of craziness. They stay out of the way, and you hear about their work, and they let their work speak for itself.
God, love it.
Michael Cuban Gooding Jr. Sorry, and radio would be another one. Only because his presentation, his portrayal of how it was respectable but accurate is phenomenal, because it was such a dramatic presentation. It was such a dramatic way to bring that character to life. Radio is one of those movies that is very heart capturing, but very eye opening as well. And it was a beautiful story. I think he did a very good job.
Love it. Love it.
I loved him when he played OJ.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
did a good job. He was Emmy nominated, Emmy Award nominated for that.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
Very talented. Very talented.
Very talented. I love all y'all, both of y'all Mount Rushmores. So last thing, pitch us, Makaela, you first. Pitch us on the idea of why we want to watch or why we need to watch Rise when it debuts.
If you've ever been a struggling musician, actor, or just entertainer, and you've been through hardships, you know what it's like to walk 2 hours to a gig and back. You know what it's like to be told no 50 times only to get that one yes. You know what it's like to be the underdog. This is the movie for you. It's about saying that I am with you, we resonate with you, and we get it. We're not talking about it after we made it in our $15 million mansion with, you know, these thousands of cars, and you going, yeah, right. But we're showing the actual journey, the actual progress, something that you can resonate with, so that it's not after the fact of us telling you this is what we did. It's this is what we're doing. Why we're choosing not to give up, even despite hardships.
Beautiful, beautiful, love it. Demarcus, your turn. Why should we watch the film Rise?
I would say these words: resilience, strength, courage, and it really capturing what it means to be a strong African American or hell any other race that can, you know, identify with the things that we have faced, especially in the pandemic. You know, the depression, the hardship, struggling, getting up after you fall down and you've been knocked down a ton of times. If you have, or that person, which that's a lot of the world, and they don't want to admit it, this is the film for you. If you're going through something right now in your current state, we want you to see this film and understand that it's not too late to change your circumstances. Yeah, God, he can do so much, but you are responsible for doing the leg work, and you can't wait for stuff to be handed to you. If you have something that come up, you can either whine about it and just fall down and give up, which some people do that, or you can be strong, rise above it, pick your head up and say, I'm going to be the change. I'm going to make the change. I'm going to do what's necessary for me to be in this position. So this film, everyone needs to watch it. And the audience, we've been getting a lot of buzz and already good reviews about it. So I'm looking forward to everybody really sitting down watching this film. And I feel like me and Makaela, we were not playing with these characters. Oh, it's very intense.
Yeah.
Very intense. So you definitely need to be parked in your chair with popcorn, tuned in to this one. And you're probably going to watch it again. I can almost guarantee it for a second time. That's really good. And we were very unique with this, which is why, they're trying to go on to enter to the Oscar circus. And we actually are already in some awards, and we'll be in Comic-Con 2023. Most people actually don't know that. Well, we're in Comic-Con 2023.
Come on now. I love it. Love this, man. Love y'all energy. Love y'all transparency. Love everything y'all do. Many blessings to both of y'all. We already know strap a skyrocket to y'all back, because y'all heading towards some heights that y'all probably never dreamed of that you'll reach. And I appreciate both of y'all. So many blessings.
Absolutely. Yeah. And definitely thanks for having us on Just Acting Up. It was definitely a pleasure coming across the Big Chris and Mike. Yeah. Definitely. We had a great time, and yourself as well. Yeah, we definitely had a great time.
Appreciate that. Where can we follow y'all? What's your Instagram handle that we can follow y'all at?
I'm at Bikini Mac, and I also have my own website that my management set up at MakaelaBryantOfficial.com. And it has everything that I'm doing from current to future to past as well.
You can follow me at Demarcus Bumper. So that's DemarcusBumpers. I'm right there. Right. You can follow me. That's on Instagram. Okay, great.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank y'all. Great interview.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you very much.